Hi guys, welcome back to another Elliott Waves on Cryptos. Monday today, it's only been a few days since the last video and I'm pretty sure that some of you might be happy for this development. I am as well, found a few minutes to put this video together today and I hope to continue with the same sort of frequency to produce in these videos. At some point we need to get back on track anyway. Now, I've added on the analysis today Ethereum as well. So we're going to do BTC against the US Tether always. And actually, no, it's actually against USD and Ethereum against USDT. Not much has changed in the medium and long term, I would say, in the scenarios that we have been looking over the past few weeks, I would say. And since the last time, there's been a slight change in the structure for a particular reason, which we're going to explain in the BTC, Ethereum as well. We're going to have what has changed there and what we can expect. Now, both, of course, cryptocurrencies trajectory really is tied up together. So if BTC will do a downside directly, and then obviously Ethereum will likely follow suit. If BTC does an upside leg before we see the downside that we expect the 23K, of course, then Ethereum is likely to do something similar, right? So I want you to tie these two scenarios between, of BTC and also of Ethereum together. Now, before going to the analysis, do not forget that none of this is financial advice, okay, and investment advice, and it's merely educational and for the support of those who don't have a lot of experience or who are really looking to for a different opinion with an edge, which is of course the Elliott waves. Do note that I would appreciate if you like, comment, as you do actually already, subscribe, turn notifications on so we can grow the community. We'll reach the 4,000 subscribers very soon. We're going to, and that's going to be another milestone, I would say. So let's jump to the charts, guys, and from thereafter I will leave you to it to leave your comments, and I'll get back to you with any sort of answers I have for you, should an answer, of course, is necessary. Okay, starting with BTC USD. If you recall, last time we talked about this flat, we talked about this zigzag, we talked about this W wave. We're expecting the wave X to end here and then a continuation up for wave Y. We did say that this is A, B, C, D, and E, and that was a very nice triangle. However, due to the limited upside that we saw since then, and then the continuation to the downside pretty much very recently breaking down to fresh lows, then that made me think of a different structure and actually identify a different structure, because this triangle is not likely to be a good scenario now. One might suggest, and I actually thought about this as well, that this might be an extended triangle, because triangles can be 5 waves, can be 7 waves, can be 9 waves as well. If actually we jump from the 5 as an extension, most likely we're going to see 9 waves. But this does not fit this rule, because this wave didn't really reach up the top of this trend line. So I am thinking that the case here is that this triangle, instead of being a corrective move in wave X, that is a 33333, instead is an ABC. That is an impulse move to the downside, a simple zigzag. Wave B, you've got ABC, ABC, and we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as an ending diagonal here in wave C. And that is a running flat, by the way, with an ending diagonal in wave C. And from there, we'll have again wave C, which is going to be again an impulse move to the downside, in my opinion, of course, and always. So with that said, this is wave 1 and 2. This is my wave 3. Yeah, and internally in wave 3 we'll have this ending diagonal as well, and this is A, B, C, D, and E. And if you will see that low coming below wave 3, this is a running triangle, guys. Okay, and it's actually a running descending triangle, and we recently broke past the previous low of this triangle, which means we are actually going for the last leg to the downside. To me, it looks like we've done the 1 and the 2, and this, because it's impulsive and sharp, is our wave 3. So I'm not sure where this wave 3 is going to end, but we're going to get the 4. It could be sharp, it could last a while, and then we're going to see 5. Okay, I don't think wave 5 is going to go below wave B, okay, at 30 or so. But even if it does, nothing is going to change until we really get down to the 29.22. But for the bullish bias to remain intact for this particular scenario, at least, I would prefer to see prices remaining above the low in wave B. And from there, of course, we're going to start likely shooting higher with another ABC correction, since my W is my W, hold on, my W here is an ABC, right? Then most likely we're going to expect another ABC here, unless if we're going to get an ending diagonal, which is also a corrective structure that is can be included in our guidelines in this particular case. So this is what I see for the BTC, guys. The other thing I want to mention is that we still remain outside this descending channel, which is adding to the bias to the upside. Okay. Now, as you well know, the other scenario now is that we we finish the correction up here. Okay, and this is my wave 1. This is my wave 2, perhaps is going to be something like that, okay, because this is going to be an ABC. That could be again an ABC as we expect very well, and we could get a like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. This could be like a flat, a running flat, or even an expanded flat if we cross above wave W. And from this zone over here, we can start looking for more downside down to the 23K. What this means for this alternative is that instead of moving past wave W and looking for a fresh high at around this W high around 41K, then most likely we're going to stop below that level and turn lower down. Now, this might be hard to decide which scenario of the two is going to play out, because in either case we are expecting the prices to move higher up. But what is going to determine likely that move is going to be the momentum of this move to the downside once we get over here. Because if this is 1 and this is 2, 3 is going to likely be impulsive and sharp and likely extended. So that's going to be the case. However, if this is going to be the first scenario, which is, this is going to be W, X, and Y, then this first wave is going to start with 5 waves down here, okay, that are not going to go below this level, okay, and most likely are going to be shorter, okay. Just to give you a better understanding of these, in our main scenario, we are going to be expecting the 5 wave to come down here, the first 5 waves, and then continue in 2 and 3, yeah, and the sharp 3. If it's an alternative scenario in play, where this is my 1 and this is my 2, then most likely this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this wave is going to break below, past this level, okay? So this is the difference here. We need to look at the structure when and if we move up. We need to look at the structure that is going to develop moving down, okay, in order to identify whether the scenario 1 and the scenario 2 is going to play out. And this is actually it for BTC, guys. Obviously there is other alternatives, but if we start talking about it, I can offer you 20 different ones. So it's a bit time consuming. It's a bit more confusing to just dive into the semantics here, because it don't really matter. If something changes, I will try to update as soon as I can. Now, Ethereum, 2 scenarios as well. If we get the main scenario in BTC playing out, then most likely we're going to see a similar approach for Ethereum, which means that we're going to start moving up very soon, close to the previous wave 4 top, around the 3K or so, okay? The difference between BTC and Ethereum, though, is that in BTC, we're expecting a W, X, and Y, right? So we're expecting X wave to finish very shortly, and then we're going to get Y coming in for the end of wave B. In Ethereum, we don't expect W, X, and Y, a double zigzag or double three to be more precise. We are expecting an A, B, and C that is going to be a flat pattern. Either, okay, it's going to be irregular first of all because this wave B went past the previous wave, the beginning of wave A here. It's going to be irregular. It's going either to be a running flat or an expanding flat. A running flat, if we get anywhere below 2900s, an expanding flat if we get anywhere above 2900s. Okay, so that also is going to be played hand to hand with BTC as well. So if BTC does a deeper Y way than W, then most likely going to see the expanded flat variation in Ethereum as well. If not, then most likely to see the running flat variation. Now, if you remember, I did change this view, okay? If you look at the last video, I had this as the end of the correction, and that was my wave 1, and that was my wave 2, and that was my wave 3. That is my alternative now. Why? Is simply because, you know, although it's not really corrective, you know, it can be considered more corrective than impulses because I don't really see a lot of impulses apart from this move to the downside over here in Ethereum. So I lean towards a scenario where we are still looking at trading in this sideways range rather than preparing to break to the downside. So the two impulses I'm looking at is here and the one we currently go into, or we currently do that impulse to the downside. And with that said, guys, this scenario means that we do have a little bit more to go to the downside because over here, you know, as you will remember, this is A, B, and expecting 5-wave moves. 5-wave move to the upside, either for running or expanding flat variation. Currently, we are in wave 2 over here, right? So this is my wave 2 from here to here. And what we're looking currently is that we're looking at this to be an A, B, and a C, okay? And this A, B, C, guys, is a simple zigzag. And wave B of this simple zigzag is a running flat, okay? Now, we've had a very nice triangle over here, okay? And we had a very nice 5-wave move to the downside and a very nice wave B over here. Very, very obvious structure, I would say. And since we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2, and now impulsively down. Impulsively down means that this is most likely wave 3. So I'm expecting a wave 4 and then a wave 5. So another move to the downside. I don't know where exactly we're going to head to, but what we can do is use the Fibonacci extension, go from wave A up to the wave B, and use the 68.8 and the 57.6. Now, obviously, we need to check and which numbers are going to work out. The 78.6 obviously is not going to work out because wave 2 is going to go past wave 1, which is not really possible. The 61.8 though comes like at 99% of the beginning of wave 1 over here, like 99%. So the 1700s or anywhere between the 1700s, so this is $100 lower from where we are now, it wouldn't be impossible. So what else we can do is use the short-term structure here, wave 1 and wave 2, okay, and see, is there anything that can give us another clue? Well, look at this, the 161 extension comes to 1730. So 1730 and perhaps even a little bit lower than that, 1720 is going to make a very nice level, okay? Now, if, of course, that doesn't play out that way, most likely, and we break lower down, most likely that will mean that we ended the correction up here, and this is indeed my wave 1 over here, and this is my wave 2, and we're gonna start moving lower down for wave 3, which means this is 1, and this is 2 instead. And this is going to be 3, then 4, and then 5. And that's going to be my wave C. Because don't forget, this is an ABC. So my wave B, in this case, will be over here. So my wave C would be down here. Okay, and do not forget, for Ethereum as well, I'm waiting for the, well, we could go perhaps down below 1K because the 38.2 for wave 4 is usually a price that we see. But do not forget that we can also use the Fibonacci extension here, okay, again, and identify a level that works out using the Fibonacci extension. If we assume that my wave B ends or ended at 28.90, which is the previous top, then the 78.6 get us to the 1387, the 100 gets us to 1135, and then, you know, obviously the other low is getting a bit further to what we expect. So I don't expect actually the surprises going there, but a wave C to around the 1387 and then 1135. These are two levels that I will be looking if the alternative scenario comes through. Now, if the alternative scenario doesn't come through, it means most likely we're going to see something similar to BTC moving up. When we move up and we get wave B, we're going to adjust this correction level, yeah, and receive new projection levels, which might be very near to the ones that we currently saw, since you know, since it's the flat pattern, and the flat pattern most likely going to go to the previous wave A high around the 2900s. If none of these is going to play out, guys, because I'm looking at this also in a different way, just a bit easier to see. That's why I identified, you know, identifying this scenario here. It is that this is my wave A, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got A, B, C, D, E over here. Okay, this is a triangle, which means this is my wave 4, and then I've got again 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that means that, you know, we're gonna be able to identify a different projection for wave 3 over here, 3 of C obviously, right? Because my wave 1 would start here rather than here. We're talking about, let's see, 1411 and then 1540. We're talking about $150 range difference, but still this is another scenario that we need to keep in mind. Okay guys, so this will be all for the day. I hope you enjoyed. I will do my best to do another video as soon as possible. In case you have questions, go ahead and ask, but they have to be, of course, reasonable. If you have any different scenario in mind or any analysis, please leave comments about that particular scenario or the particular analysis. Don't just make raw comments, okay? And I will get back to you as soon as I can. As I said before, none of this is investment advice. And again, appreciate your likes, your comments, and I would appreciate even more if you subscribe, turn notifications on so that we can grow this community. Thanks again, guys. And we'll speak again, I hope soon.